You made it through the offer, but the battle is just beginning. The home inspection is where the deal gets serious, and often where the negotiations get messy. Let's talk about why buyers, sellers, and agents rarely agree on repairs, and how understanding the conflict can save your transaction. In this video, we will cover home inspection repair requests, but not how to choose a home inspector. For that, we have a separate video on hiring a qualified inspector. What is a home inspection, really? It's an evaluation of the home's condition, not a pass or fail test. Inspectors identify issues, but they don't decide what should be fixed. Crucial distinction. We are not talking about cosmetic issues. Most contracts exclude cosmetic repairs because buyers and agents can see those during walkthroughs and adjust their offer accordingly. Example: carpet stains or pet damage are visible and should be factored into the offer price, or negotiate a credit up front. If there is a lender involved, the underwriter would have to approve the cosmetic credit allowance. Inspections uncover hidden problems, issues with the home's structure and major systems that aren't visible during a showing. While no inspector is perfect, they tend to uncover 95% of items in need of repair. The pivotal point where stakes rise for all parties. The process gets complicated because buyers often think, if it's broken, it should be fixed. They want safety, functionality, and peace of mind. Sellers, on the other hand, don't want to spend thousands of dollars fixing things they've personally lived with for years. Example: they don't want to spend $500 on a leaky faucet that has leaked for 3 years. They feel an older home comes with normal wear and tear. Then there are the agents, one representing the buyer and one the seller, who aim for balance. They try to keep the deal together and advise clients on what's reasonable based on market norms, usually prioritizing big-ticket items for fair negotiation. Most buyers and sellers don't realize the biggest factor that tips the scales during the inspection negotiations is the current market condition, which is constantly changing in local markets. Markets shift from neutral to buyers' or sellers' markets. This is natural every few years and will drastically affect the inspection negotiations. In a buyer's market, buyers have leverage. If sellers refuse a lot more repairs, buyers often cancel and move on because there are plenty of options. In a seller's market with low inventory and possible multiple offers, sellers hold the leverage and often choose to make few, if any, repairs. In some cases, sellers intentionally avoid fixing issues to encourage the buyer to cancel, especially if they have a stronger backup offer waiting. In general, what do buyers expect of the property's condition? When paying full price or appraised value, buyers' expectations are higher and typically include no major structural concerns, sagging floors, unpermitted additions, foundation cracks. No roof problems, 5 years of life minimum remaining, HVAC failures, major plumbing issue, or major pool structural or equipment issues, or mold issues or concerns. Safety features like working smoke and CO2 detectors, secure stair handrails, and intact windows and doors with proper working seals. No known property line or easement issues that impede the use of the property, such as damaged shared fencing due to tree roots or water issues impeding the other's yard. Because no one wants to buy a science experiment for a home. Common sticking points. During inspection negotiations between all parties. Older but functional systems. Example: HVAC units, hot water heaters, pool equipment beyond their typical lifespan. Sellers rarely replace these if they're still in proper working order. However, remember the insurance factor. Many companies might increase the annual premium or won't insure an older home with a roof over 15 years old, or an original electrical panel that won't meet today's demands, which can force a repair or replacement, even if it's currently working. Get quotes from other insurance companies. Hint: this is a great time to request an insurance quote since you are in your due diligence period. Insurance companies have become more strict in many areas regarding climate change risks. Roof repairs versus replacement. Sellers will always choose a $5,000 repair over a $20,000 replacement. If this is unacceptable to you, as a buyer, then request a credit and pay the additional cost after closing. Even if a roofer estimates the roof is in good condition but only has 5 years left, most sellers won't, and realistically shouldn't be expected to replace it. Buyers need to put themselves in the seller's shoes and realize they are not buying a brand new home, and there will be future maintenance costs. Past, water damage, and mold. In most states, sellers are required to disclose any known past water damage, whether caused by leaky roofs, burst pipes, or occupant-related issues. Any water damage or mold should have been properly remediated by a licensed and bonded specialist. Mold remediation should be completed before closing because costs can escalate from $5,000 to $50,000 quickly if more mold is found during the demolition stage. Buyers shouldn't take on any unnecessary liability unless they are getting the property at a steep discount for the risks. This includes potential issues related to structural integrity, water damage, mold, roof condition, and easement complications. Pool plaster. Sellers often prefer to patch problem areas, while buyers typically want a full resurfacing. In most cases, pool plaster is considered cosmetic, but when severely damaged, it can become a sticking point and may even impact the structural integrity of the pool. Termite pest inspections. Many transactions include a separate wood-destroying insect (WDI) inspection, which is required for VA loans. While not all areas have termites, other pests such as scorpions, rats, and similar infestations can also be a concern. If termites are found, those repairs are often non-negotiable for lenders or insurance companies. This means the property cannot close until the issue has been fully resolved. Credits in lieu of repairs. Don't let agents guess what repairs will cost or rely on a handyman to quote everything. Roof repairs should come from licensed roofers, and plumbing repairs should be handled by licensed plumbers, period. If the repair is over $5,000, we highly recommend multiple quotes in case one professional sees something the other doesn't. Credits can be beneficial, allowing the buyer to hire their preferred professionals, but the credit amount must be sufficient to cover the necessary work. Expert tip. Hire an experienced agent who can negotiate repairs or credits based on lots of experience negotiating inspections in past transactions. Advise when to walk away if issues are too severe. Remember, walking away has a cost. Lost time, the inspection fees, appraisal fees, and the emotional toll for all parties. An experienced agent knows when the issue is worth fighting for, and when it's better to negotiate a fair credit to keep the transaction on track. An inexperienced agent could cost you a lot of money, your dream home, or your best buyer who was willing to pay top dollar. Buyers and sellers have no idea how their next inspection will play out, or if the new party will be any easier to work with. We can't stress enough how important it is to hire a full-time agent with real production. At least 7 closings in the past year. Don't let your home become an inexperienced agent's learning opportunity. Social media videos and clout aren't experience, and holding a license for 20 years doesn't mean they've actually sold many homes. Unfortunately, the industry is saturated with non- or low-performing agents. Choose proven real estate pros with documented recent closings. Just because a family member or friend has a license doesn't make them qualified. Watch our video on how to select an agent. For sellers, focus on repairs. Any future buyer would also demand to be fixed. If you don't want to lose the buyer, offer a small credit for the minor repairs. Hint: every buyer will want a good roof, HVAC, and plumbing. This way, if the buyer cancels, you didn't put out too much money for tedious repairs. Experienced listing agents review your home's condition before listing. Ask key questions such as, when was the roof last inspected? Has the HVAC system been serviced recently? When was the pool heater last turned on and tested? They also recommend fixing known issues up front, including broken windows, leaky plumbing, and non-functioning smoke detectors. Many repairs can be completed more affordably before the buyer's inspection, since most contracts require a licensed professional rather than a handyman once the home is under contract. Pre-listing inspections are a smart move, especially in a buyer's market, because sellers risk losing strong buyers if too many issues surface later. A pre-listing inspection simply means hiring a home inspector before putting the property on the market. However, this strategy only makes sense if sellers are willing to address at least 80% of the recommended repairs, as ignoring major issues after disclosure can deter buyers or lead to renegotiations. Major repairs discovered during inspection often stick in buyers' minds and can kill deals. Buyers often struggle with roof issues because deferred roof maintenance can lead to leaks, which in turn may cause mold and structural damage. Let's be clear, the inspection report is not a mandatory repair list. It is the objective report card on the home's current condition. Remember, a resale home is not a brand new build. You pay less, but you inherently accept some wear and tear. Buyers can have unreasonable expectations for too many small repairs, but sellers will always remind you, if they want perfect, they should go pay 25% more for a new home with a warranty. Ultimately, the key to navigating this is understanding the conflict. Buyers, sellers, and agents all have different goals, and that's okay. Understanding those differences is what keeps the deal alive and moving forward. If you're buying or selling, work with an agent who has proven experience with these complex dynamics. It can save you thousands of dollars and keep your dreams on track. Always review your purchase agreement and consult your agent for specifics. This information is for general educational purposes and may not apply to every transaction. If you enjoy our content, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more real estate insights.